And welcome back to our last two sessions. To kick off the afternoon sessions, we have Vutlharhi Valoyi, who's the founder and CEO of Zulzi. He's going to be talking about the rise of grocery delivery and something that has certainly changed my life in the last year, same-day grocery delivery, and how it's gained momentum in 2020. So, welcome. I'm so glad to have you on board, Vutlharhi. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. And good afternoon to all the viewers and listeners from all over the world. Very excited to be here to be part of this today. I just wanna, I will just take you through our journey as Zulzi as well. So we started in 2016 as a grocery delivery platform where we deliver groceries from different retailers such as Woolworth, Pick n Pay, Clicks, Discount, with just one app, so you could get your groceries delivered within an hour. When we started the business, it was very clear that groceries is one of the key areas that we believe was going to drive the growth of e-commerce worldwide. If we look at the likes of Amazon, Alibaba, everyone was actually have been investing in the grocery space. And this is one space that if you look in our growth here in South Africa, when it comes to e-commerce, you can see clearly that without groceries, there's no way you can really grow e-commerce rapidly. And we have seen that as well. When we look at the numbers of this year, you can see that because of groceries, we have sort of like passed the 2% mark in terms of like the total sales in retail. So groceries play such an important role in terms of driving the overall growth for e-commerce. And we as Zulzi have been sort of like pioneering the space. We introduced 1 hour grocery delivery in South Africa. And then we then partnered with the likes of Shoprite Checkers, where we helped them to build platforms such as 6060 that also allow them to do grocery deliveries successfully within an hour. What I can say is the expectations from customers is customers will always want two things. They will always want anything delivered to them as quickly as possible. They will always want better prices. And with groceries, it is quite complex to be able to do those two things and still make money. One of the biggest problems with groceries, or one of the biggest challenges with groceries, is the biggest cost that you have is the picking cost, how long it takes for you to pick the items, from our side, for instance, one of the key things that we saw that was lacking in the market when we started was how you communicate with a customer when something is not available, when something is out of stock. We introduced like in-app messages where you could actually get your replacement in real time, and that sort of like changed the whole experience for customers. Customers could rely on using us to order their groceries, and is what we do with other other platforms like 6060, where we ensure that the customer experience is not impacted by the availability of stock. And I think that's very critical to get that part working correctly. Availability of stock is a big problem for when you have to pick items from the store, for platforms such as Zulzi, and also like for retailers themselves. Unlike when you order food, from, let's say, like your Uber Eats, Mr. D, chances of that item being out of stock if you order a burger is close to 0.01%. But in groceries, you're always going to have items that are out of stock, and how you mitigate for that, that will speak directly to how much you're gonna lose or how much you're gonna make, because the picking costs are actually one of the key drivers for anyone who wants to make money in the grocery space. So the moment you pick groceries for 1,000 Rand and it takes like over an hour to pick those things, then the model then breaks, So one of the key things is that needs to be solved from now going forward is, number one, how do you eliminate the the back and forth communication. Obviously, before then it was not there, where you could not even communicate with the customer, and the customer experience was just horrible for most of the customers, where you just get items that you didn't order for. And then we introduced the communication where now you can actually like chat with your customer in real time. If there's anything that they need, they can respond on the platform. But that's not enough as well. Sometimes you find that you have to wait a little bit for the customer to respond to you, to give you feedback in terms of what they've ordered. So that impacts two things. It impacts, like, number one, you're gonna have picking guys who are waiting there for a customer to respond to them, and that's money, and also can actually impact the time as well it takes for you to deliver those items. So some of the key things in the grocery space that, you know, we've seen, there's now a new revolution that is now taking place worldwide. You know, guys like Delivery Hero in the UK, I mean, and Germany, they've been leading what we call the quick commerce, where you can literally get your groceries delivered in 10-15 minutes. We have seen the likes of GoPuff in the US do similar things as well. So there's a big shift now. The first shift was towards like just getting your stuff delivered in an hour. But right now, the biggest shift that's occurring is how do you get your groceries delivered very quickly to a customer, you know, in 15 to 30 minutes, and without having to worry about the products that are missing. And that's the next revolution that's taking place currently. And we as Zulzi as well want to lead that revolution. We're starting to get more involved in what we call quick commerce and being able to deliver things very quickly. And yeah, and in that space, you definitely also have to look at ways in terms of like how you can batch orders. And the tricky part is, unlike when you have 2-3 days to deliver items, when you have to deliver items within an hour, within 30 minutes, or you need more scale for you to be able to sort of like batch orders that are similar, going in the right place, in one place together, and then offer like more discounts to customers, you know. So the grocery space, I would say finally we have a model that has proven itself in terms of, like, you know, it's not working profitable. And I think I expect more and more retailers should actually be moving towards that direction as well, where you build some sort of like what I would call it could be like a dark store within the bigger store, where you can get your items delivered to customers very quickly, but also delivering on the experience in terms of like, if there's the experience of a customer is not impacted by out of stock, you know, because, you know, you don't want to disappoint the customer. You get there, you refund the items just because they couldn't respond to the message, and then you end up like spoiling their party. So building like an ecosystem where you can have dedicated stores that allow for online, because, you know, like as online grows, you know, you need more channels that are going to be dedicated to serve that purpose, you know. One of the tricky part is when you pick from the stores, now you also have to compete with the walk-in customers as the platform grows, you know. So you have to choose as to like, you know, like if you imagine right now we are looking at, like, let's say your sales are at like 2%, 10%, and online when for the stores that are doing very well in like modern areas. But imagine when it gets to 20 to 30%, you know, where you have the stores that's packed with all the pickers, all the drivers, the experience that get impacted. So I think moving forward, what I expect is there has to be a lot of shift towards building sort of like dedicated channels that like allow like a seamless experience for a customer, where you can literally, whatever you're ordering, you are getting it, and the real-time sort of like integration with all the inventory, because currently, I mean, none of the platforms sort of like offer real-time availability of stock, you know. So that's going to be key in terms of driving better customer experience going forward, and driving more people to go towards like ordering groceries online. So yeah, like I think the groceries landscape has changed quite dramatically here in South Africa, and I think the key thing is it's nice to see a lot of retailers starting to take part in this space and starting to take it serious. This space is no longer, I mean, delivering groceries for retailers no longer like by the way. It's becoming a must, and it has proven that, you know what, like once you have an online channel, even the guys who just want to walk into the store start to increase as well, you know. So there's a whole lot of benefits that you get by just moving online. Of course, there's still a lot of things that need to be fixed in terms of logistics, making sure that the logistics for groceries, you are able to get things much quicker to the customers. So customers will always expect things to get to them quickly. You know, if you think now the speed is good for 1 hour, they want more than that, you know. And when you look at the market like ours in South Africa, where a lot of customers live very close to the stores, they have an option of should I be ordering from you or should I be going to the store? And what we've seen on our platform as well, the trends are most of the customers, our top customers will then order from us like once a week. But what we know is customers generally would want to order groceries like probably 3 times in a week, you know. So that also speaks about the speed, you know, how quickly can you deliver to them, you know. For someone to have to wait for an hour to get the items when they're very close to where the store is, it's not really that appealing. So you're gonna have to sort of like move to the next level, which is to get the items even quicker, where the customers now must think about, should I be the one driving to the store or should I be waiting for the delivery to come to me, you know? So those are some of the key things. And when you're doing that as well, you also have to look at like, can I do that in a profitable way where I can still make money as a business to survive? So as Zulzi, we have been focusing a lot more now in terms of like, number one, wanting to improve the speed. We want to take it to the next level where you can really get your items, where you have to think twice about whether if you should be the one driving to the store or rather be waiting at home, getting your items to you. And also to pioneer the making sure that what you're ordering on the platform is what you're getting. So yeah, I think another thing that has been interesting is obviously to see how, you know, like if you look at the growth for just for groceries in this space as well, it's been interesting to see what the retailers, you know, have done to the market. I mean, like right now, when you look at the total sales that happens online in the retail space in South Africa currently, it's sitting at 8 billion rands as we speak now, you know, which has been quite a big improvement. And we see that number going up. We see that number doubling soon. But the key thing is will be about like, can you change in terms of like the speed? Can we accelerate the gears, get the items quickly? And also like when you are in the grocery space, one of the key things that also helps you is when you improve the speed of delivery, you also have to worry less about the cold chain, how you transport the products, how they are stored en route to the customers, you know, because the speed solves that problem. Another key thing that I've seen as well is obviously the traditional model of shipping groceries from like 10, 20 miles or, you know, away from the customers, sort of like it has proven that it doesn't really work as such. You need to be closer to where the customers are to be able to do it quickly, get it to the customer as quickly as possible, and you sort of like remove a lot of complexity in terms of like what happens when you are transporting these items en route. So yeah, like I think it's been good spending some time here, and thank you so much for all your time. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and this was a little bit insightful to all of you guys. Thank you so much.